Good morning, welcome to Blockchain Breakfast, back at the regular time here. Take it away, Mark.
Good morning. I'm just going to get this tweeted out. It's May 31st, June 1st. Wow, June 1st tomorrow. We're a Blockchain Breakfast. We've got David G from G Media, Ross Macdonald from Blockchain Business Magazine, and of course myself, Mark, from me. And we're back to normal time, which is 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So welcome to Blockchain Breakfast, and of course sponsored by our good friends over at the Manny Pacquiao Foundation, always moving forward to do good things for the people worldwide, and of course for its currency. Guys, how are you?
Doing all right.
I'm good, man.
Pretty wild weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone's a little surprised what's going on. Rocket ships blasting off, murders, riots. Like David said yesterday, America is on fire.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Look, protesting, and I'm gonna get right into it. Protesting, we talked about it before we came on air. Protesting is everybody's right. I believe in it. I'll stand with everybody. I grew up in a diverse community. I'm from New York, especially New York City. So we don't see color. Or at least I'm going to speak for myself. I don't see color.
I think New York's well known for that.
We are.
Yeah.
We just don't see color.
Yeah.
I went to public school. I don't see color.
But
So I'm going to stand up.
But Midwest. Yes. Midwest is different, hey?
But, at the end of the day, George Floyd was murdered. Okay? We can protest, and I agree with the protests, but I do not agree with the looting.
No.
I do not agree with burning down cities. That does not send the proper message. Protest peacefully. Not every law enforcement agency is racist. Not every single law enforcement agent is racist. You have a cancer in every single industry and every single workplace. We need to unite and stand together. Like others are doing right now. So let's not take it away from them. There are others. I posted it on Twitter. There are others that are standing together. White, black, brown, purple, orange. They are standing together, okay? And they're voicing their opinions the right way. And those messages will be heard. But not looting, not throwing bricks, not throwing cocktails at cop cars, not throwing cocktails at cops, not hitting innocent people, not burning down Targets, because now Target's closing 14 stores in New York. So now 14 stores, which probably employed 1,000 people, those 1,000 people now don't have a job. Are you going to go ahead and pay their salaries now? Who's paying their rent? And if they have kids, are you putting their food into their mouths? No. You're not. Yes, I can never put myself, even though I grew up in a diverse neighborhood, I can never put myself in their shoes, minority shoes, a black person's shoes. I can't, because they get stopped for no reason. It is true. They do get stopped because of the color of their skin. But this is not the right way to go about it.
Well, when you look at these burning the targets and stuff like that, like if you take this in general, it's not a good idea. But if you peel it back a little bit and go, okay, well, you burnt down the Target, maybe they're a large corporation, maybe they have insurance, but what about the store next door where the guy's working 12 to 14 hours a day, open to close in his corner store or whatever he's doing, his pawn shop, doesn't matter what it is. Family guy that has to go home to his wife and 2 kids. And when he wakes up every morning, he's got to go to work at 6 to 7 a.m. to open up a store and wait for a customer. Then he's there for 12 to 14 hours waiting for a customer. And then he goes home and he's beat tired, and then now he's got to go back and find his store's burnt down. And that was his only livelihood because he's got a wife and 2 kids. And he was doing just fine. It's absolutely two wrongs don't make a right. And I get what happened. I don't even have the right words for what happened other than it's murder.
Yeah.
Like, it's just straight up. There's no words, actually. I don't really think that we should give the cop airtime in this case because he's got some serious issues. A life was taken, and straight up, it's murder. It doesn't matter which way, it's murder. The guy, all of them, in fact, all of them that were involved are just, if you rob a store and your buddy has a drive-away vehicle, he's part of the armed robbery, right? So all these guys, these cops, these law enforcement, they have a right to protect citizens. That's their job. They're sworn in to protect citizens. And then they're all involved in a murder. Like, this pandemic has caused people's brains to go seriously crazy, man. And I feel a bit for the protesters because, man, they've been basically locked up in jail for how many months? And in the US, they're given X amount of dollars to survive on in a month. They can't do it. Their brains aren't centered. These protesters, man, they're probably they're not centered as it is because they've been locked up. Like, Ross, you and I have been locked up too, man. You got to do something. Like, if you just sit there in your brain, you're stewing in it. This is really the first chance they got to get out, and it's a protest. It's a perfect storm. And I don't know, man, this cop is just.
It's not just him, Mark.
No. I said law enforcement, but it's law enforcement in general.
I'm talking about him. I'm talking about the situation. It's not just him. It's the 3 other cops that were behind the car.
I said that.
We only have the visual of the first.
No, we don't. I said that though. I said the other ones involved as well.
No,
driving a getaway vehicle.
I'm just saying in general that like all of them should get the same charge applied to them.
Of course, man. If a guy robs a store and goes and hands me a stolen Rolex watch, doesn't mean I'm not guilty if I stole the Rolex. Of course I'm guilty. Those cops are all guilty. They have a job to serve and protect. That's their job. They're sworn in. They're special people. They're supposed to be special people. They're sworn
Let me ask
in
you guys
to
a
serve and
question.
protect.
Here's the cities here. Here's the rundown. Charlotte, Chicago, Las Vegas, Minneapolis, Seattle, Washington. Those are the biggest riot cities.
Well, no, they got California in there now too, as of last night, right?
Yeah, this is just
like Seattle. They burned down the whole Nordstrom, I think, the whole thing.
So how does this further damage the economy in these cities, even after the difficulty from COVID?
Well, let's look at the economy. Let's go ahead and let's look at the economy from the United States standpoint. The United States has over 40 million people unemployed. Wow. Now, COVID is opening up the door. Obviously, the numbers have gone down for COVID. We're opening up the doors. Just social distance, right? This happens. It ignites. Economy, right now, we have none. And we won't have one if we keep burning shit down.
And the supply chains are going to be messed up now.
I ordered something, and I'll show it to you right now. I ordered something. It was supposed to come Saturday. It was delayed because it was going through Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now, you speak of supply chains, forget about my little petty item, which is just a luxury item. Let's talk about now, food that needs to be delivered that cannot be delivered right now. My biggest problem though, like it's sitting on my chest, is that protest peacefully. But don't loot. It does nothing.
If
If you're telling me that you're gonna steal a TV and it's gonna stop racism,
no,
please prove it to me.
has protesting peacefully ever worked in the past? No.
Why not?
I'm not saying burn stores down by all means. That I'm saying that that's wrong.
It's not. Protesting doesn't.
But protesting peacefully does nothing.
It doesn't.
So hold on.
It doesn't
So
solve a
what
problem.
something?
It creates
Burning
awareness.
down buildings does something?
No, I just said don't burn down buildings, but I'm saying protesting peacefully does nothing.
I think it does if everybody unites.
No,
When everybody unites.
they just outweigh it. That's all they do.
It's
They outweigh
about
the
awareness.
signs.
When you have 65
Correct.
million people,
Wow.
and they say, you know what? I'm just giving a general number, 65. You know, there's 350 million people in the United States. If you have 350 million people, let's say, stand up and don't move their positions. Let's take it back because then you have, okay, let's say whatever it is, 300 million people stand united, do not move off their positions. You think you don't win? You win. You win. Listen, let's go back into history. If to say something like that, Mark, then let's look into history. When people go ahead and rise up,
People need to lobby the proper buildings. They need to lobby the proper places. Lobby the government, lobby the police stations, lobby the headquarters, lobby the courts. Whoever's involved. Listen, David, if I have a challenge with you, buddy, I talk to you. I don't go talk to Pat Globo.
Yeah, but David's
I talk to you.
accessible.
So, but lobby the right areas though. Like, man, if you got a challenge with the police, and the police, man, they've got some serious challenges going on. This all comes down to the government. The government better step up. And you know what? The large corporations are actually involved in this too, because if they say they're not, they're lying, where they're peeling money. The government really needs to step up with this, and Donald Trump needs to be a Donald Trump. If he's a fearless leader, then he needs to be a fearless leader, and he needs to go the other way too. I mean, I feel for, they've got to protest the right way, and I don't think peaceful holding a sign there, unless you're doing it, what you're saying, David, you're doing it in numbers, though. You're saying everybody.
What, like Hong Kong?
You could create a chain. You could create a human chain across America, right?
In order to stop this, you know what? This needs to stop everywhere. It's not just in the United States, bro. Yes, we have a history. We have a history. Okay?
Well, you guys are vocal and patriotic, so it's not.
No, but we have a history of slavery. I mean, you know, we have a history.
Yeah.
I mean, America was built on slave. I mean, like, let's keep it 100 here. Like, I get it. We get it. Like, I get it. As a white person, I get it. I don't understand what you go through. You know, I can never, any person that says that they understand what a minority goes through, you don't. No. If you say you understand what a black man goes through when he gets stopped for no reason, you don't understand that. I don't understand that. I might have grown, like I said, I've grown up in a diverse neighborhood. I understand, I know what they go through, but I can't understand.
We'd be fortunate to even get a glimpse of what minorities go through. I got a glimpse of that when I went with some buddies of mine who were black to a bar in Montana. Boy, I got a bit of a glimpse, but that's just a fraction of what it's like.
Listen, I'm Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
You already, if I have to speak on that and stay, you know, like, I'm Jewish, it's a different kind of racism that you get.
Mm-hmm. Profiling, yeah.
You know, but if I get pulled over, hypothetically, I know I'm getting out of it.
Really? Wow.
I got pulled over with my friend of color, and they searched. Why?
That's crazy.
Why? We have suspicion, but it's not every cop. So now, like, this is the problem that we're having. We're blaming this one guy, and it's not just a one-time incident. But right now, this is it. This is it. He went ahead and put his knee on somebody for 8 to 9 minutes. He didn't need to do that. The guy was. That's it. They had him. He was not resisting arrest. He was on the floor. He was begging. I cannot breathe. How many times can you say that? He was crying out for his mother who passed away. I mean, how many times can you say something repetitively till somebody shows some human compassion and says, you know what? I'm gonna let go of my knee.
I was,
My knee off of his neck.
you know,
What do you tell your kids?
I've experienced racism directly. Yeah, I'm not. Obviously I'm Caucasian. My wife is not, and we have in our family, um, we have Caucasians, we have Asians, we have blacks in our family, right? And they're all kids. And we went to the mall. This was going back like 10 years. My wife and I took all of our nieces to the mall. So we've got diverse we've got 5 kids with us and we're very diverse. I'm Caucasian, my wife's Filipino, but then we've got people of color as nieces as well, right? And we went to the mall and I remember like people staring, trying to figure it out. They're looking at my wife and my wife looks young, and they were trying to figure out like what is going on here. But the looks they were giving us, and I remember telling my wife, I'm like, that is so wrong. Like how they're looking at us is so wrong. They've instantly forgotten that I'm with kids. They've instantly forgotten that there's 2 adults and the rest are kids. They've just immediately, their brains are they're staring and they're trying to figure out. I'm like, what's the problem here? And of course, my oldest son, he's 22 now, but he's Caucasian. So you threw him into the mix and people are really confused. Like, but don't stare and don't, like, people were walking in the mall and they're like looking at this. It's like, wow, really? What are you instilling in these children by doing that? So it is still happening through this generation, and it's actually pretty horrible. But
what do you guys think about some of these conspiracy theories that some of these protests were planned? There was advertisements 2 weeks ago on Craigslist for people to volunteer for, what was it, military reenactments in Dallas. We've got pallets of bricks dropped off into these downtown areas. Like, there's a lot of different dynamics happening.
Listen, you know what? Without a doubt, there's people in the back that are going ahead and setting things up to help promote more violence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe. I really believe, though, the nation felt this one. I felt it. Not that the other, like the Sean Bells and everything, like that doesn't matter. Like that did matter also. But this one, being that we've all been, the world has been quarantined for so many weeks. This just like, boom, hit you. And now a lot of people felt it. And they went out. But you do have people behind the scenes dropping off, without a doubt, bricks. Come on. There's no construction near any of these sites, and you have like about 1,000 bricks laid out perfectly for you to go ahead and take and throw.
In multiple cities.
And no video camera recording showing anybody dropping off the bricks, of course.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, it's not a conspiracy theory. The only theory is who went ahead and did it. But yeah, I mean, like, for sure, without 100%. But
so,
that's, right now, we either unite or we divide. We're already a divided nation. So all this is doing is dividing us even further. So when do we finally grow? Like, when do we finally sit back and say, you know what, guys? Let's unite, not divide, and let's go ahead and do something great, and that's try to some way end this shit. Or we can continue down this path, which leads to nothing good. Just take a look at any third world country. It leads to nothing of any good, I promise you.
What do you guys think this will do to the markets Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Oh, I don't. Hey, really quickly, did you see the video, David, from Anonymous last night? That's crazy, eh?
Now they're back.
Oh,
Now they're back.
they're back. Yep. Well, they never went away, but
Well, no,
they're
but they
they're
weren't vocal.
they're
They
they're
were
vocal.
in a hiatus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's not much they can't do, I don't think.
And now you can go ahead and, you know, at the end of the day, you want to take power away from the government. Now you can go ahead and say, you know what, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency.
Absolutely, 100%. That's where my brain was going. It's like groups, like, I mean, listen, Anonymous does what Anonymous does, and I don't disagree. I don't really disagree with what they do. I can't say I disagree with it because they seem to be trying to do the right thing, if that makes sense, even though it may be the wrong method, but in people's eyes, but the right thing. But this directly, I mean, this comes back to crypto for sure, David. Bitcoin is the right, like, that you want to take power away for sure. That's where crypto comes in.
People want power. You know, the minute, and let me say this, you know, Morgan Freeman said this. He was on 60 Minutes, and he was talking to Chris Wallace. You guys can look this up on YouTube. And they're talking about Black History Month. And Morgan Freeman said, I don't want Black History Month. He goes, Chris Wallace, who happens to be Jewish and white, he goes, do you want White History Month? Chris Wallace goes, no, I absolutely. He goes, I want you, you know what I want? He goes, I want you to call me Morgan Freeman, and I'll call you Chris Wallace. But I'm not going to call you white and you don't call me black.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you stop racism. When the day that we stop calling each other and identifying each other by skin color,
Correct,
is the day that racism ends.
Absolutely. No, it's well said too. I like that, what you just said, actually, because it's totally true. You're David, I'm Mark. You're Russ.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how I grew up in New York. I'm telling you right now, like, we don't have, you're black. No, like, we don't have that. We don't have that.
Well, we don't, I mean, where we're from too, our specific place up here, we're not, I mean, Ross, we're very diversified in where we're from, Alberta. We're very diversified, so we don't,
What do you mean? Do you mean segregated?
No, we're diversified.
Really?
As far as different cultures in Alberta, we're very multicultural.
I guess.
So we don't have a lot of that here.
But the neighborhoods are so segregated, even in Canada. I think that's why, you know, you see less racism in Canada, is that you get communities that band together by race. And
what about, Russ, what about the media?
Oh man.
Isn't it? We're media, right?
Yeah.
Media. We're all media, right?
Yeah.
Our job is to promote things. Like we made it when I opened up G Media, right? With everybody, we were like, I said, the one thing I want is that when we go ahead and talk about cryptocurrencies, that we shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No BS, straightforward. If we're friends with somebody, we're friends with Verge hypothetically, and they did something wrong, we're talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not hiding shit that they did wrong. If it's Tron, if it's XRP, if it's Bitcoin, everybody gets, you know.
That's right.
There's something great, we're gonna talk about it. There's something wrong, we're gonna talk about it.
Of
I
course.
did something wrong, we're gonna talk about it. Nobody's safe, because that's the way it should be. But look at mainstream media. They promote racism.
Absolutely.
Because when you go ahead and see, I'm gonna show you, a white person shoots up Los Angeles. I don't know if you guys remember. The dude took out an AK or whatever his gun was and shot up those people at a concert. He was mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
Muslim person does it. They're a terrorist.
And cue the fear mongering.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we had that one up here where that child, that young guy stabbed. Remember that, Russ? Stabbed like 6 people or 5 people to death at that house party.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was a police officer's son that did it.
Yeah.
He was the chief, I think, at the time, and the son stabbed and killed 5 people, but he's out now, right? He's full. He's full. Like he's
Wow.
out of
What
hospital.
was he labeled? Was he labeled mental health issues or?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But if a black person would have done it, well, he would have been a gang member or a thug.
Well, I'm not saying he would have been labeled a gang member, but perhaps he wouldn't have been labeled mental.
Without a doubt, not mental.
Right. Yeah. No, buddy, I'm with you. Like I get it. I've got multi-cultures in my family, so I get it. I'm a very equal person. Like to me, I like to talk to people by their name.
I think when you look at mainstream media, though, the size of these companies dictate that they are influenced by the owners and the agendas of the people they are involved with. So
they're pushed. It's advertising dollars. That's the problem. The money makes the world go round.
Why would they advertise? I'm posting it on Twitter. Why would they advertise the good protests, the peaceful ones, where no cops
Because
are
they're
going ahead and
because they're forced by their higher hands, the people that are
Correct.
paying them for advertising and whoever's controlling.
So what's that doing? You are now watching mainstream media, right? MSM is promoting violence. Like literally every channel you put on, you don't see no peaceful shit going on. You see violence, right? So you're sitting at home now. You're already agitated about what happened. What are you doing? You're agitated first of all because you've been home for weeks, and now this happens. You have cabin fever that's already set in. I'm sure cabin fever is already set in. Now you go nuts. Now you know what? I'm going out there. Now you might not have an agenda to go out there to do something stupid, but in the moment, in the heat of the moment, stupid shit happens. Like these 2 girls who are now facing attempted murder charges because they threw cocktails at New York City police cars.
wow,
Was it really worth it?
that's crazy.
These are
my
people that
point. It's because mainstream media is
pushing.
not promoting. They're not showing you videos of there are white people, black people, brown people, all them, everybody sitting together singing "Kumbaya" and how are we going to fix this? No, instead
I saw a human chain yesterday on Twitter this morning or last night. The Target human chain where they blocked the target, and I thought that was cool. I also saw that one where they're citizen militia, so they were citizens, regular citizens with their ammo, because we're not used to it here because we don't have those open gun rules. Like
That's scary.
Some of the stuff I see in America, I just can't believe the gun rules. Like we're not used to it. So you see these guys with these big guns and they're normal citizens saying, "Don't come in here." It's like,
David,
I'm seeing some of that.
David, do you have a bug out bag?
Say that again. I'm so sorry.
Do you have a bug out bag, like a bag, so that if an emergency happens, you have to leave New York, you can hit the road and go?
Yeah, I got that.
I think for people
I
that
have
have been in
I have
any
it at home. I have it in my car. I mean, both cars.
I think anyone in America, they gotta check that bag. Man, that is so important right now.
Listen, we're going through.
I mean, New York is fine. I mean, New York is New York, but
No, we're going through a hard time. I would say globally. Globally, we're all going through a hard time.
We are globally. We can't say one place is worse than the other, because that would be downplaying somebody's situation. But I mean, America, listen, it's the government. Donald Trump, their step up. Donald Trump's got to do something other than, I like Donald Trump actually, but he's got to do something right now.
Is it amazing to you guys that this can all happen and that the economy continues and that it doesn't necessarily affect, the Dow Jones and the price of Bitcoin that much?
It's not.
I think that's amazing to me that the economy just kind of continues. The hardship increases dramatically, but price valuations kind of stay on their same trajectory.
You know what I think? I think cryptocurrency is going to become way more popular after all of this, because people are going to talk to other people. These protesters are going to meet other people and talk to other people. And I think digital payments like cryptocurrency is going to be a whole lot more stronger after these unfortunate events, because people are going to want to know where to turn to, and cryptocurrency solves that, right?
Well, you want freedom, right? You wanted 2008, 2009. Mainstream wanted freedom, right? We created Bitcoin, right? It was freedom, right? It's freedom.
You know what?
Listen, having cryptocurrency is freedom. The thought is total freedom. People don't understand, like, that aren't in crypto. Go get some crypto, own some crypto, play around with crypto, whatever you're going to do, send it to your buddy, get him to send it back. It's complete freedom. And if you think about it more and more and more, you get into it more and more and more, because it's just such it's such freedom.
Here's a question for you guys. If events that are happening right now with COVID and rioting and economic difficulties, if it caused a wave of adoption to cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin, being the dominant cryptocurrency right now, 65% dominance in trading, does that create a bottleneck? We already have a bottleneck. Does it create an even worse bottleneck?
What do you mean?
On-ramps and off-ramps to acquiring and using cryptocurrencies?
Bottleneck? No, I don't. There's lots of options out there.
I think it's going to create if you had a wave of people, setting up accounts, buying Bitcoin, supply and demand just changed recently with the halving, price starts going up, transaction costs start going up for Bitcoin. I think it creates a huge problem.
Well, that's a Bitcoin problem, but Bitcoin's always had that problem. So
But
you
it
turn
may-
to other currencies like.
You're right. So there is a need because of that bottleneck to use other cryptocurrencies.
100%. There's always been that need.
Tone Vase was talking about.
Oh God.
I don't know if you saw that tweet, but I went after him because he was talking about, Bitcoin. I think he said
Litecoin.
Hopefully, I didn't say. I hope I didn't read it wrong, but he said Litecoin was like a scam.
Right.
I was like, bro, shut the fuck up.
But you're just giving him the attention that he wants, man. Just.
But I know, but like it's like enough, bro. Like we talk about that we need to step up as leaders, and promote this space,
Dude.
and
If
show
you-
people the beauty of it. And he's like his answer back after me going ahead and ripping him a new asshole was, I'm just trying to tell everybody what scams are. How is Litecoin a scam?
Dude.
It functions well.
David, if you feed a squirrel,
Yeah.
Is that squirrel coming back the next day?
Yeah.
At Tone Vase is a squirrel, just letting you know. Don't feed the guy. The guy's toxic. I mean, I disagree. I will have to say that I disagree with Johnny Litecoin's video. I totally disagree with that. I agree with the point that Johnny Litecoin made. And I agree with his way of thinking and coming after and coming down on Tone Vase, but I completely disagree with how Johnny Litecoin did it.
I didn't see the video, so.
Well, it doesn't show self-constraint, and that you have to have self-control, and you don't go on live Twitter and call the guy a piece of this and a piece of that and an F this and an F that. Listen, this is, at the end of the day, it's business too. So you got to have self-control. It doesn't make you a bigger person to go and call a guy out on live Twitter and say you're this and you're that with profanities. But you can certainly do a Twitter live and make the point. I totally agree with Johnny Litecoin's point. Totally disagree with how he did it. But Tone Vase just wants attention. Why give it to him?
Well, I learned that the hard way because I didn't know.
While I'm giving him attention right now, while we're talking about him.
Fine. You know what? I don't like to give anybody attention, and I'll end it on this. Like, I didn't know who he was, and we spoke about this. I went on an interview one-on-one with him to debate him, and like.
Let's invite him on.
Trolled the fuck out of me.
Let's invite him on.
Oh, honestly, no.
Well, why not?
Why? Because it will just turn into like me being an asshole.
I think what
No,
we,
but we
what
have
we,
we have self-control. It's like John
You would have to
McAfee.
be- I'm
It's
telling
like
you
John
right now.
McAfee. We can bring him on too. We can have listen. If one of our guests doesn't want to have an adult conversation, and you know it doesn't make us look bad.
Listen, I'm usually mellow and I can hold
Yeah.
myself back. But like people that just want to troll this entire community that's coming in to something that's so new, and you want to troll them, no, I'm not. I'm just not with that. You know, like I said, like we're gonna have the same type of. We're gonna have new people that come into this space. They're gonna want to get educated on other things besides Bitcoin. To go ahead and say that everything else sucks and Bitcoin is, top dog, kind of sucks.
you know what? I used to think that education would change our economy and it would increase adoption. I don't think that anymore. I think it's fantastic to have the resources there for people to learn about finance in general, traditional finance, blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, but I don't think until the technology changes and makes it simpler for people to use it, that it's going to change our economy. It's not going to happen.
Listen, download the Pack wallet.
Yeah?
Download the Pack wallet. It's not an advertisement. It's legitimately, I'm saying download the Pack wallet and see how easy it is to go ahead and place a transaction or send money or make a payment.
It's cosmic, but allowed. But don't say it's not. It is.
You're
There's
bringing
nothing wrong.
Oh, we lost Mark. You know what's
Yeah, that's because you said something bad about Pack. No, literally, I'm not trying to advertise. I'm just saying that, hey, it's a good. Listen, I'm the CMO. I can talk about it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, hey, look at it. There's no big address. There's no 19 numbers, and with 19 letters included in there. It's just your name.
Yeah.
I got cut. Sorry, I got cut out.
Lost you there, Mark.
Yeah.
Look, I wasn't trying to advertise. All I'm saying is I'm just the CMO. I was just putting out there. Ross said something. It's difficult to go ahead and put in all those. A lot of people, they don't know how to do just copy and enter. People just want it simple. People want it simple.
Speaking of that, and I got cut out, so I didn't hear your whole conversation. But speaking of that, the biggest pet peeve I have right now with wallets is the copy paste and oh my God, did I get the wallet address right? That, and then you got to copy paste twice, or when you're telling your friend to send it to you, you're like, you got to send it to him twice because you got to make sure both times it works. It's the same address.
Smart
The biggest
wallets.
one I have, like paste sent, you can do it by name. So you're saying Pack Global, and because I got cut out, I didn't hear it, but Pack Global, you can just do it by name. Is that right?
Yeah. Create a username.
Yeah.
Create the name that you want. That's simple.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
And I'm not just saying, listen, we're one of the first to go ahead and do it, right? So we're one of the first. Not saying that other blockchains and other cryptocurrencies won't do it.
Yeah.
It will, and it's a good thing because it'll bring more people into the space. They'll see, oh, it's easy. Go ahead and kind of like Cash App. They'll say it's easy to go ahead and do.
Yeah. Well, in the Casino Coin app, it's the same thing. You just get a contact, enter in a contact. If you think about cell phones, our contacts in our cell phone aren't saved by phone number. They're saved by name. I don't have to enter in a freaking phone number every time I want to call Ross. I just click his name.
Correct.
I don't know how blockchain or crypto didn't get to that first. I don't know why we didn't quickly move past the long code.
Yeah,
We should have been.
it's a good question. Do you guys think that it's important though, because everything is mobile on smartphones? Do you think it's important to have the new technology on these smartphones where they have separate secure hardware within the devices to store crypto in cold wallets?
Oof.
Is that important?
On a cell phone?
Yeah, they're all doing it.
Ooh. Be more specific.
Okay, I'm gonna
Be
bring
more
this up on
specific.
screen. You guys won't see this in the Zoom call, but our viewers will see this. So the Exodus 1
Okay.
phone, which has partnered with Binance, they have separate hardware so that when you're not using an app, your crypto is not accessible to your phone. Your phone cannot be hacked and accessed, just like a cold wallet can't access the crypto. It's a level of security that they put in.
Says who though?
What do you mean?
Like for me, man, a cold wallet is cold wallet. For me, how my brain works. You know how back in the day your safety deposit box is your safety deposit box?
Mm-hmm.
Because you always thought, well, wait a minute, it's fireproof and all that. Whatever you have in there is safe.
Yeah.
To me, cold storage is cold storage. Whether it's Ledger, EliPal, SafePal, whatever. Cold storage is cold storage to me.
So you're debating whether or not that should be included in a smartphone?
I think obviously everything.
No, Mark, you're not going to get adoption. We're not going to get adoption.
Well, of course, that's going to be the argument for sure. I get that. But everything needs to go offline. Everything needs to go to app. I strongly believe that everything needs to have an app.
It's the same way of, we can put it this way. Remember when you used to, like, you would go ahead and buy an external memory for your computer?
Yeah.
Just so you can go ahead and obviously make sure you have all your, instead of putting videos on your computer, you just put it on there and
right.
You need to. It's the same thing. Like, a lot of people didn't want to do it. Unless you had to do it, a lot of people went and built the computer to go ahead and be able to go ahead and store that kind of information or files and data.
The simplest way is to have it built in.
Correct. So, I agree with that. Am I comfortable with it? Not really, but do I agree with it? Yeah, because look, there's some sort of way you're gonna find. Some hackers gonna find a way to go ahead and get you, right? So that's the only thing that you have here. But somehow we have really I believe we have really talented people that can create something where it's completely not connected, let's say, or you can disconnect it from your actual phone, even though it's on your phone. You get where I'm going with that?
The separate.
But that's what I have a hard time believing.
Well, what?
But if somebody really does it, I'm talking about a real dude who's into crypto invents that kind of thing, you can believe it. I can't see somebody who's passionate about crypto and blockchain doing something spiteful.
Yeah. Here's a question. Do you believe that it's worth anyone's time to try to hack Bitcoin and to reverse engineer a private key? No, it's not worth it, right?
Go on Google.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the time, so hackers don't do it. It's too much effort for potentially a small reward. I could try to reverse engineer what Satoshi Nakamoto's huge, millions of Bitcoin, around 1 million Bitcoins are in his different wallets. I could try to reverse engineer that, find out those private keys. By the time I sort that out, maybe they're moved, maybe they're not. Who knows? It's not worth it. So if someone has that sort of confidence with a smartphone and the separate hardware and the cold wallets on there, all of a sudden, like you said, David, it's simple. People adopt it. They go, perfect, that's great. My money is secure. I lose my phone, that's okay. I got my cold wallet backed up. I'll put it on a new phone.
Wouldn't you get the same adoption by these phones having apps that come with phones though? Like you've got the weather app, whatever apps come with these.
that is what's coming with these phones. So I think, people if they don't have to go and research what app to download and learn it and try it, when it's built in, if it's built into the Samsungs, if it's built into the iPhone, that is next level.
Apps are everything. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to google.com to look at the weather, or you just look at the weather app?
Exactly. I look at the weather, I just look right at the app built into my phone.
How often do we go to Google? We don't even need to. We've got an app I don't even need to go to Google for anything. We need apps for blockchain. Every single blockchain company, crypto, they need to have apps. Forget the websites. That's so not forward moving. App, everything. Even we should have an app.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We should have an app. This show should have an app where a guy just clicks on the app and that's it, watches it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in agreement. I think every single cryptocurrency should develop an application. It just makes it easier because a lot of people tend to leave their, tokens or coins on an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe people listen to others who have more experience preach about storing their tokens and coins on a cold wallet. They'll just leave it on Binance and whatever else is out there, and they're like, whatever, it doesn't matter until an episode like Cryptopia happens, to where all your shit is lost. So, and then the blame is assessed to the cryptocurrency companies when the cryptocurrency companies had nothing to do with it.
It's interesting that these phones are out. They're not as really accessible right now. Here, I'll give you a quick rundown of everything. So we talked about the Exodus 1. It's sold out. You can't get it. Siren Labs has a phone called Finny, which says it's the first blockchain smartphone. It has built-in apps. It has built-in D apps as well.
That's been around for a long time.
But they're not available. Our industry is not using them.
Correct, because I don't think they followed through. I think they financially ran into I don't know what challenges. That might be a good company for us to have on, actually, to talk to.
Samsung has the Clayton phone. These all have built-in apps. Then we have the Node 6, which is really only available in China. I don't know if you can purchase and export that, but even then, the support and the use of that would be difficult. And then the Samsung Galaxy S10 was said to, when it came out last year, was said to, be built on blockchain and to have accessible apps. And it's almost like they pulled that from it. It's not even, shown on their website. They didn't really push that. I think they went with the features on it, better phone, better screen, that sort of thing. So it's interesting that these have started to come out and the industry didn't go yes and jump on it and everyone in the industry has it. That didn't happen. Why?
Well,
not there yet.
We're not there yet, yeah.
What does that mean?
But
the industry.
You don't need a blockchain phone to get blockchain adoption. You don't need a crypto phone to get crypto adoption. You just need accessibility to apps.
Right, but they won't put out an app just for everyone to use. They'll do it with the release of a phone. They want you to buy the phone that is supported by the hardware so they can capitalize on it.
Listen, at the end of the day, we're just not there yet.
No.
Honestly, all right, let me ask you this question. Besides crypto Twitter, where would you go to go ahead and find out about crypto?
Reddit.
That's better, right?
That's a lot of opinion there, though. That's where it gets murky.
There is nowhere to go. The short answer is we're not. People are focused. It's like we're a click. It's really horrible. Crypto Twitter, it's like we're a click. Ross, you and I had this conversation because I can do our blockchain breakfast live from my office, right? Like I can do this. I can literally do this live from my office and have a studio audience watching us. I have enough ability to do that. Once COVID is over, I can have a studio audience and we can actually have live blockchain breakfast live on location, and we can have a meeting and a meetup afterwards. People, there's not enough good things happening right now it's just all price based right now. It's not use case based, unfortunately.
So that's a good point. So what happens, if Bitcoin leads the way, if Bitcoin pushes through 10,000 again, let's say it jumps up to 11, 12, let's say 15,000 US, or it tanks down to 5,000-6,000 US. How does each of those actions affect the industry right now?
Well, you know how it is. If it goes up to 14 grand, every news station in the world's talking about it, and then people are going to go in and look at Bitcoin. Then all of a sudden they look at Litecoin and see what Litecoin does. And then they look at Verge or Casino Coin and PAC, right? They have all these different use cases. Now, if it goes down to 5 grand, yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's dead. Like,
right.
Listen, the world needs to realize Bitcoin's never going to die. You can't like, and again, Litecoin, Verge, we're not, it's not going to die. Bitcoin is not going to die. But again, it's all price driven right now. And even on Discord groups, you go into Discord groups, people are like, so where do you think we'll be end of year? Where do you think we'll be next end of year? Concentrate on the use case. Mm-hmm. Get out there and tell your friends. Again, we got little Danny, he's a motor racer. Go tell your peers about crypto. Go tell your peers about, man, you trade pogs. Pogs get you nothing. You go and frickin' trade pogs. Go and trade crypto with your buddies. It's like, hey, I'll trade you this crypto for that crypto.
I forgot
cool,
about
dude.
Pogs. I forgot about that.
And people also see the price and they're like, they don't understand that you can buy pieces of Bitcoin. And
kids don't get that. That we need to educate the kids.
I think kids get it. I don't think adults get it.
No, well,
I saw this kid the other day. This is a while ago. He was looking at our magazine and he said, "Dad," he was about 8. He says, "Dad, we need this. This is important." And the dad's like, "Oh, really?" He was like, he was like, "Why?" And the 8-year-old, he was like, "I need this. I want to read this." And I was like, "Holy smokes." That was a bit of an eye opener.
Listen, at the end of the day, though, like if people understood that they can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, I think they would get into it. But being that they see the $9,500 number per coin, they're like, listen, I don't have the money. Mm-hmm. And that's where the education, that's where we lack in education. Like we have people, running around yapping about, hey, look at this, I'm buying more Bitcoin, and look at this. And then when you ask them a question, they don't reply. So like we don't have, like I said, we need meetups. We need to get outside of this space where we can go ahead and educate. Even if it's 5 people, it doesn't have to be a gathering of 200. Even if it's 5 people, to educate those 5, that those 5 will go ahead and educate 20, and then 20 educates 40. It's like,
well, good. So we need to put our blockchain breakfast and our podcast. We need to take this podcast and market it to non-crypto Twitter. We need to take this link and take our podcast and find a way for the 3 of us or whoever we are involved to take this podcast outside crypto Twitter. Start contacting other people saying, hey, we got a podcast or a radio show or whatever we want to do. Let's get on. Let's talk about it.
We should.
We should. Absolutely, we should.
Listen, without a doubt,
There's radio shows for everything. There can be a radio show for blockchain too.
Usually I like to go ahead and argue with you, but I can't even argue on the show now.
So the 3 of us should concentrate on taking this outside crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
Listen, we will. We will. At the end of the day, it's all about, I know I sound repetitive, but it's all about education. And it doesn't matter who it comes from. Whether it comes from us or the next person, the only way to grow is if people know about it and understand it. When people don't understand something, they're not going to get into it, especially society now, which is completely lazy.
Mm-hmm. This is why we need to have an app that pops up at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Boom, there's your notification. Boom, blockchain breakfast comes up. There it is. And education comes through compassion too, right?
Correct.
And being genuine. Education has a lot. You can have 2 teachers, both as knowledgeable, but if one has passion and one has compassion, I'm probably going to listen to that teacher. So it's about people recognizing the fact that, hey, we have this podcast or that podcast, and we're pretty well, like we have compassion in what we do, David, for sure.
People got to be woke. That's the word, woke, right? So you got to wake up and realize, like, look, fiat is not going anywhere. And I'm going to repeat this until I'm blue in the face. It ain't going nowhere. Let's not focus on the banks are going to go out of, no, the banks are not going anywhere. Banks will be banks. If there are 100 banks right now, yes, 50 might be left standing. I'll agree with that. But those 50 are the ones that adopted blockchain into their businesses. And that's why they'll be left standing. Now, Bitcoin doesn't have to work with a bank. Bitcoin, to us, we realize it's a store of value now. You're not going to use it to make a payment. I don't.
I don't either.
You can use it if you want to go ahead and, just put it in there and watch it go up.
Yeah, it's your safety deposit box.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But when you hear people, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to use. Why would you use Bitcoin? It takes forever. I mean, it does. It's like you're going to be waiting there for the next 10 minutes.
10? An hour?
I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
You know what?
Wait there 10 minutes while there's a line that grows. Okay, that's social distancing. Okay, people want to get the hell out, and you're gonna be there. We're gonna wait.
Causing a riot because of your Bitcoin.
Hold on, the track set. It's almost there. No.
Yeah. Did you get it yet? Did you get it? Or is it there yet?
I got an email.
I'll be very honest. I'll be very honest with you, brother. I use Litecoin for purchases and Verge if I can. Verge isn't quite adopted yet to where Litecoin is adopted yet. So that's factually speaking. One day it will be, but it's not right now. So I use my Litecoin. I like Litecoin.
Right now, All American Ford, which is a huge organization for Ford in itself. I think they have about 11, 12 stores. You can look it up online and probably see. But they accept PAC.
Good.
That's awesome.
In the service department. So that's adoption.
Absolutely.
I don't care if All American Ford accepted Verge or Bitcoin or this, that. They do, I think, accept Bitcoin also, but I don't care. And Litecoin, excuse me. Also Litecoin, Bitcoin, and PAC. But if they accepted Casino Coin, doesn't matter to me. That's adoption.
Well, and the challenge is we have over 5,000 projects right now, and everybody's trying to fight for the same space. And it's a huge challenge right now, man, because you got, there's a lot of use cases that are the same. Where, we need different use cases here. Like PAC Global, is their use case for payments? Is that their use case?
No, I'm going to go ahead and move away from that subject. But you can use it obviously for if you want to go ahead and use it for transaction, you could.
Right, but what I'm saying is there's different, Verge is a currency, Casino Coin is business to business. I'm saying there's different use cases. We have to stay within our use cases.
Correct.
And
look,
stop.
Is anybody doing charity?
Very little.
Very, very little.
Anybody growing edible food forests?
I mean, I don't know a lot about that topic personally, but I have, other than PAC, I don't know anybody that's.
Listen, edible food forests to go ahead and feed people. Perfect.
But an edible food forest. So you're saying that's a farm?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just a rice field.
Yeah, but
it's blockchained.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a great use case. Absolutely.
And
I've always stated that. I've always said that these rice fields should be on blockchain.
It's a phenomenal thing.
It's huge in the world, man. Huge banana tree, banana plant. It's huge.
I like charity. I love charity. We all we're on here every single morning or night, whenever we accommodate our guests for one reason, and that is because we want people to learn about blockchain, cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
That's
so we accommodate and we don't charge.
Correct. We do not charge. It's funny. Somebody asked me how much do we have to pay you to get on the show? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, nothing.
Why?
So I didn't even know that. Actually, I really didn't know that shows. Only to get off topic, I didn't know that live casts and podcasts charge people to get on their shows.
Buddy, they met. Do you want to see the email I have? I'm not going to mention who. $7,500 they're going to charge me for 15 minutes. Do you want to see it? I have the email.
That's insane.
For what?
For helping you to create content.
But that's not education. That's just going ahead and
shilling.
Shilling yourself.
Now advertisers, and by all means, and donations, by all means, our show, if you want to donate. And our advertisers, if you feel value, then advertise, because
don't donate to us, man.
Yeah.
Donate. You know what? Do me a favor. Donate. I'll put up a link here that'll go directly towards a charity.
That's what I'm saying, though. But you can donate to us, and we'll forward it on. It's all blockchained anyway.
And you'll see it'll go straight to a charity.
But back to your rice fields, if you can blockchain farms, edible food farms, and you're donating to charity, it's so blockchained and transparent. That is where adoption is amazing.
And we have more. I just can't speak about it.
But then don't go into the payment system part of it. Like, in all fairness, it's like, concentrate on that part of it. Don't go.
No. But we have more coming up. Nice. But that's all I gotta say. We got a lot of literally cool stuff coming.
But concentrate on what you concentrate on, though. Concentrate on your exact.
But we are. It's just that you got to go through certain things. But like at the end of the day, what we have coming out is ridiculous, and it'll benefit you, me, Ross, everybody.
Can we do a live press release for that?
Absolutely, 100%.
Love it.
At the end of the day, it's like this for me. There's going to be a whole lot of projects in the currency space. A whole lot. Everybody seems to be wanting, we're a currency. No, you're not a currency. Focus on what you're focused on. Everybody thinks they're going to get adoption. Oh, we're a payment. So-and-so, the bread store down the street accepts me. But you're not made for a currency. Focus like Casino Coin's B2B. Like, we're a blockchain. We focus. Right. Casino Coin focuses on blockchain. We are a blockchain. Casino Coin doesn't focus on casinos taking Casino Coin because we're a blockchain. Verge is a currency. XLab is XLab. They have their utility. PAC is PAC. So stay within the arena. And I love that edible food farm. I love that use case for blockchain.
When you see when I announce it, and I'll make the announcement here, we'll do the press because we're literally the first to do it.
Well, then let's get whoever from PAC on and do a live press.
You know what? I'm gonna bring Drew on. Drew is the CEO.
Bring him on here. Yeah.
We can hit him with all the. I told him, I ain't giving you no softballs. I'm gonna hit you with questions.
Well, we brought Justin on, and we didn't like pet him. It is what it is. But
you'll see. Number one, he's really an intelligent guy. Knows his stuff, and it'll almost be like speaking to Justin. Like you'll get that vibe. Like
let's bring him on.
And I'm gonna get him on. I think.
Where's he from? What country?
He's from America. And,
okay. All right.
He's on your delay, the 3-hour delay. So you guys will be good. I'm the one who's 3 hours forward on your asses.
Yeah, let's bring them on then. Why not? These are use cases that need to be talked about.
But I agree with you. The 5,000, the 7,000 projects that we have out here, where at least 3,000 or 4,000 of them are doing the same thing. I mean, yeah, that's one of the things that I can't stand. I've said it from day one. I just can't stand. Just have some sort of thing where you take. Why start something new when there's one already out there? Just bring on those people and make it better.
It's like I'm a currency too, but I'm like 1/1,000,000th of a second faster than the other guys. So we're better because we're a currency and we're that much faster. It's like at some point in time, it's useless.
Competition is good, but in this sense, it makes no sense. And the only sense it does make is for somebody to start one, get some money, and be out. So that's the only sense that you can make out of it. Why would you start one unless it's a prideful thing, an ego?
Correct.
When it's something that's already out there, that's ready to go. It's like the same way. Like my magazine's already established. Why would you start one? I'm talking about somebody who's trying to go ahead and start a magazine on the same subject. Why would you start one when I already have it? Why don't you come collaborate?
Well, it's capitalism, right?
Here's a topic. BNB was created as a utility coin, as a utility token. Now all of a sudden it's a currency.
That's true.
But this is what I'm saying is if you're created as a utility, then work on growing that utility. You're not a currency.
You can't tell. Listen, again.
Hey, listen. A button is a button. I can't go buy stuff with it.
We're
a button isn't currency.
Early. We're way too early. That's why these things happen. There's no system. You know, it's just it's chaos. It's like what's the right word to go ahead and define it? It's organized chaos. To where, like, you know, it's just like, let's throw shit on a wall and whatever sticks kind of thing, and then we'll figure it out. That's what we have here in this space. That's what I see, and that's my personal opinion. I'm sure people won't share it, but I just think it's just organized chaos.
It's like these wallets that come out, or these apps, or these wallets saying, "Hey, we just added 1,000 different projects. They're all ERC20. You didn't add nothing. As soon as you have an ERC20, you have an ERC20."
Correct.
It takes literally 1 second to add. Don't go blast out an announcement that you went and added this and added that. Just add ERC20, and everything else underneath the ERC20 on that chain is added anyway. It's not as big.
There's good projects out there. There's what's that project called? Chili? Is it Chills? Something like that.
Oh, I think I saw Chilliz. Is it Chilliz or Chills?
Chills, I think. And they go ahead and, you know, they got the whole gaming thing going, just professional gaming. Then you have, you know, an area that's lacking esports. Like, you have esports that's lacking. There's no real cryptocurrency or blockchain for esports. One or two, but the ones that are out there, I'm not really feeling them.
That's
because
actually growing really quickly.
Because they're not concentrating on that. They're like, oh, we're going to dabble in esports, but we're also going to do this because somebody phoned us and asked us for this.
Correct.
They're not focusing on their area. David, you're in finance. Okay, so does that mean you go twist a wrench too?
No. My thing is, like, when
maybe you could,
yeah,
though. But that's not your area.
No,
your area is finance.
It's like when I tell people, like, when you develop a team, you know, if you don't put the people in the right position, you're the failure, not them.
Correct.
One guy is. We're going to use a hockey analogy, and most people probably don't know hockey, but if you're a left winger and I put you at center, you know,
you're ticked.
I'm killing you by, you know, putting you at center, because you're not used to going back and forth and being the third guy to play defense. You're not that guy. You're a left winger. So I'm not utilizing you correctly.
There's the whole career of Sam Bennett on the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
Bouncing him around, poor guy. Love that guy.
I played hockey.
I love
hockey. And my position, I love playing center. They put me at center. But I could play left wing. I could play right wing. And they put me at defense. I was kind of like Fedorov. Kind of one of those guys where I could play anywhere. But that's because, like, that's self-taught and that's coaching. But the best fit for me was always play center. I was fast enough to get back and forth. That was really it. So, like, again, it goes with cryptocurrencies. You know, like you said it. Like, I do finance, but you're not going to put me in a position to go ahead and take out a wrench. I could do it, but why do it? I mean,
Correct.
It's not my specialty.
Right. So these freaking cryptocurrencies stop being what you're not and really concentrate on expanding out what you are.
But another thing, so let's go to that. When you say that Bitcoin is everything and everything else sucks, you're asking Bitcoin to go ahead and do everything when it shouldn't.
Listen,
if you have a Bitcoin, if you have a cryptocurrency that does esports, or you have one that is one that's supposed to go ahead and track literally goods, items, like, you need these things. It's kind of like the internet. Like, you don't go to one place. You don't just go to Yahoo. No, you wouldn't go to just Google. No, you go to, if I want tickets or I want to go on vacation, I'm going to go to Expedia. Or I'm going to go, if I wanted food, I'm going to Instacart, right? Like,
okay, but we don't have 5,000. We don't have 5,000 travel sites.
You do. Well, you have. What I'm saying is, you're not going to use Yahoo to go book your travel site. Meaning, you book your travel. you'll go straight to the source, right? So it's the same thing. Like if I wanted to keep my things private, I'd go to Verge.
Well, as an option. I mean, we're it's an option.
But
If you wanted that option, sure, you could do that. Yeah.
But if I wanted to go ahead and keep something private, and not that it's illegal, I just want to keep it private.
Right.
I'm going to Verge, right? But
Correct.
I'm being told no, that's a shit coin, and you should go ahead and use Bitcoin. But why would I use Bitcoin? I don't want to spend it. Now you're confusing me.
Yeah, I get it. No, you're exactly.
If I'm going to a casino, why am I using Verge? I'm using Casino Coin.
Well, no, it's if you're a casino and you want to get on the blockchain and create your token, you're creating it on the Casino Coin blockchain.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Right.
I'm using Casino Coin's product.
Yeah.
So why would I use Verge?
I agree.
No disrespect to Verge.
I agree.
I wouldn't. So again, that's where people
different use cases. Verge is a bit edgy, so we're that edgy project.
Yeah. But
whatever.
But again, my case is like there's, I understand. It's kind of like the internet. There's, you don't go to Expedia to go do food shopping.
No, and it is internet. You use what do you have? Chrome, Firefox. Like there's a whole bunch of different.
It's the same thing. So now you're gonna tell me, oh, you're only supposed to use Microsoft Explorer. Though Chrome is better for me. Like it's kind of like.
Yeah. No, these maximalists are just they're brain dead because you know what? I'm only going to Starbucks. I'm never going to Tim Hortons, or I'm only going to Tim Hortons. I'm never going to Starbucks because I'm a maximalist at Starbucks. Like these maximalists are. I think what they do is I think they like to talk to each other about how good they are.
Do you guys want to bring on like 4 or 5 maximalists onto G Media Unfiltered?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Why not?
I think they would argue with one another.
No, but let's go to Unfiltered. Invite the maximalists on Wednesday nights. Is it Wednesday night? Wednesday night, right? For G Media Unfiltered. Wednesday night at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. 5 maximalists, 10 maximalists. Actually, let's just bring them all on. Whatever. Let's just have a party.
But
that'd be wild.
We can't speak about anything else. Just remember that.
What's that?
We can't speak about anything else but Bitcoin.
No, but we'll bring them on, and we're unfiltered anyway. So it's like, hey, if you're a maximalist and you can be an adult about life and speak well and not be a child, come on. Let's have a manly conversation.
Listen, I'm down 100% for anybody to come in, but I would love somebody to come in, a Bitcoin maxi, which I call them, to sit down and say, you know what, Bitcoin, and they'll say Bitcoin is king, and we understand that. But other projects in this space are worth what they're worth, and they do bring something to the table.
Well, their argument is that Bitcoin was the first. There's a lot to be said for that. But there is a lot to be said for something being
Commodore was the first computer, right?
Correct.
Where's it now?
Was it the first? Apple.
Well,
was it Apple or Commodore?
Well, let's say Commodore was the first commercial in terms of for the people, right? Mm-hmm. Was it okay? Maybe it was, I don't know. I
don't know. But
if Apple, Commodore, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
They were the first, right?
IBM,
yes.
Well, I'm talking about my first computer was a Commodore 64.
Mine was too. Yeah, VIC-20 actually. But.
So that to me would be like the first. Well, let me ask you this question: was an Atari? Was it the first gaming system?
No.
What was the first gaming system?
I don't know. I thought
Coleco was before that.
Coleco and Commodore came out before Atari.
I think Commodore was literally the first gaming system off the 64, right? The first to move to it. They had gaming on the Commodore, right? So that.
But okay, let's take that away.
Anyway,
what was the first one that you got that was solely for gaming?
Mm-hmm.
Coleco, I think, for me.
So nobody remembers that, and now we remember it in memory. But Atari, that went away. We're now on PS4, moving to PS5 or Xbox. So, somebody who's so hardcore in Bitcoin needs to understand, like, relax, because one day you might turn into MySpace.
No. So
Say that.
Bitcoin. I'm gonna be hard.
I'm putting that on a T-shirt.
I'm gonna be hardcore Atari, and I'm gonna talk about only Atari because I'm hardcore Atari.
It just doesn't make, like, don't.
I know.
I'm not saying that that's going to happen. No, watch. Somebody's gonna replay the show and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, he just said," and they're gonna take it all out of context. He just said that Bitcoin's gonna die. You see how unintelligent he is? Whatever. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, MySpace also felt like it would never go away.
I like to entertain the fact that Bitcoin could die. If I don't leave a 1% door open for that, then
Okay, fine.
I'm
1%.
being ignorant.
But you can leave a 1% door open for anything.
Yeah, sure. But
Right,
I'm that guy. That's why I will talk to the CEO of an altcoin that has 10 followers. You know.
But okay, Bitcoin could die. Bitcoin could die.
What happens when
Of
the
course
US
it can.
comes out with the digital dollar?
Oh, that'd be wild.
I'm-
Times.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. What happens once the US they are gonna come out with it? So let's not fool ourselves.
Then we have
When the US dollar with digital dollar comes out, what happens to Bitcoin?
people in suits starting the riots in the streets.
Listen,
Oh,
do
breakfast is served.
okay, so this is when you know that we're wrapping up the show.
This
it's
is
like
when we're
5-10
wrapping up the
minutes.
show.
Yeah. You already know. 5-10 minutes. That's it. That's all that's left here. Mark goes ahead and gets his breakfast.
Let's wrap up the show. Let's not run too long. But David, on Wednesday, are you opening the show just to random callers? And do we have anyone that we're gonna call?
You know what? I want to. I'm gonna say I'd like to save the guests, or maybe we'll bring somebody on. It just depends if we have a lot of people that are lined up that want to come on, so it's a cool thing.
Let's tweet that out. I love seeing, our podcast here is usually 3 to 4 people. I love seeing G Media Unfiltered where it goes to 6, 8 people.
Correct.
I love that.
So this is what I want to do something different. I want us to all do something different than what we're used to. And yeah, everybody does a podcast. Let's go ahead and invite the people on, because at the end of the day, the people make us. So, and that day where I said, yo, let's just throw out that Zoom thing, people came on, we had fun. We had some fun, and we had a bunch of educated people on. It wasn't like,
awesome.
hey, Brian knew his stuff. I mean, it was fun to, sit back and hear from the other side. So I'd like to go ahead and bring on everybody on Wednesdays. Give them the Zoom link. 40 people come in. That's fine. Let's do it. I'm fine with it.
Let's do it.
Why I don't feel
You know what?
exciting.
Let's do it. We should let's have a rule. If you can be an adult and have an adult conversation and have self-control, and you're for the right reason, unfiltered Wednesday, come on in. We're going to open up the Zoom link. Let's have a party.
And you gotta have your camera on. We want to see who you are.
Yeah, correct.
You can't join the stream and just lurk.
Yeah, so no anonymous stuff coming on. We don't want anonymous.
Otherwise, you get kicked out. Doesn't matter if you have a bad hair day. Right now, nobody can see a barber. So right now, no hairstylist, no nails being done. We understand.
Oh, check this out. Watch this.
Oh, no haircut.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take a screenshot of that shit.
Nice chatting with you guys. Hope you have a good Sunday. Same here. I hope everybody in America is doing all right, because it's still chaos.
Listen, guys, my message is easy. Protest, you have every right. First Amendment gives you the right to protest. Do it. Go out there. Doesn't matter what color you are, what nationality you are, what party affiliation. Go out there, voice your opinion, stand together. Just don't make it violent. Stop looting. People built their businesses up for years on years. They're destroying businesses for no reason. If we can all go into a store and take a TV and it would somehow stop racism, I'd be like, okay, but that's not, it doesn't happen. That's not fact. And that's just reckless and stupid. guys, stop looting, man. Just go out there.
Destroying more families
Yeah,
is not solving the problem.
Yeah.
Period. We spoke about it earlier in the show. You can catch it. Just don't do it, man.
Yeah.
We on George was murdered, absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
But let's you know two wrongs don't make a right. As the
But you know what? He was gang murdered. Is what he was. He was gang murdered.
Yes.
That's wild.
He was murdered by a gang of police.
But not all law enforcement is bad. Let's also know that not every single officer is bad.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, they have families too. They go out there to protect us.
They have a tough job, but in this case, he was gang murdered.
Correct.
Stay happy, stay healthy, guys.
All right, gentlemen.
Nice chatting with you.
As always.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
Talk to you guys soon. See ya.